Your personal development is not your leader's primary focus. You need a mentor. Hey, I'm Sean Lenery, also known as Sean the Speaker, and today we're kicking off what I call the Virtual Mentor Series. As many of you know, we in our careers, we have individuals who pour into us, help us get developed, and we tend to believe that that individual is our leader. Our leader is supposed to do all of that. They're supposed to coach us, manage us, be our psychologist, our big sister, little sister, whatever it may be, right? But the reality of it is you need a team. So think about it like this. I always pose the question, what if we got leadership wrong? What if we think that leadership is a responsibility of one individual to help a subordinate, but in reality, it's more than that? So I want you to envision that as an employee, as a team member, you're like grass. Grass is in the soil, it's going to be where it grows and develops, and your leader is like water. However, you need more than just your leader. You know, there's some individuals who can grow in just water, like there's grass that can just grow in water, but the reality of it is you also need sunlight. And I view sunlight as your mentor. You see, when you think about plants, if you put a plant in sunlight, it's going to grow at 3 times the rate as a plant that's not growing in the sunlight. So yes, it has the capability to grow, but you put it in the right environment with the right set of circumstances, it will do better. So think about yourself in that same light. Let's talk about it. Leaders and mentors are similar yet different. Here's how they differ. Your leader's success is determined by your success. So you're typically going to have the same department goals and KPIs. You're going to have the same objectives and be working towards the same mission. For your mentor, it's very different. They don't have the same goals as you. They're not aligned to where you're going. So their primary focus is your needs and what you need to be developed. The one thing about it though is with your mentor, you have to know that you're going to have less development time. So you need to be able to maximize that time that you have. So when it comes to your development, I think about it in 2 different ways. There's going to be your opportunities and guidance. So really, whenever we think about opportunities, those are the gaps that you need to be able to fill in order for you to actually perform well at work and complete your job duties, whether it's your goals or a target that you have to be able to meet. Whereas guidance is how do you do your job effectively? How do you communicate effectively? How do you move in a room? How do you network? So when I think about it, your leader typically is going to take about 70% of their time with you. It's going to be spent on your opportunities, whereas only 30% is going to be spent on guidance. So they're really honing in on the opportunities primarily because of what I said earlier. Your performance dictates their performance. Whereas on the flip side with the mentor, they're going to focus on your opportunities about 10% of the time. But really 90% of the time is going to be about guiding you and how you can move better and do better. So let's talk about what you need to do to show up better. A lot of times we think with our leaders and mentors, we can just sit down in a chair and they're going to give us all the feedback when in reality, you should be coming prepared to those conversations. So the first thing we want to talk about is how you show up when working with your leader. Number 1, you want to have context in your performance. You should know your performance and why you're performing the way you are better than anyone else. Number 2, you want to have clear asks on how you can perform better. Okay, I'm at 80%. How do I get to 85? How do I get to 95%? Number 3, know your preferred career path and seek guidance. Where can they help you? Where can they fill in those gaps for you? How can I connect the dots on what you do today that'll lead to what you want to do tomorrow? And number 4, solicit new opportunities. What are growth areas, whether it's pilot programs or temporary scenarios that you can work on, projects? How can they get you out there so you can stretch yourself and learn new skills you don't know today? Now let's focus on mentors. Please, 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 whenever you're meeting with your mentor, come prepared because they're there 100% for your betterment. And usually it's free. So if you're going to take advantage of an expert's time, let's make sure you're prepared for that. Number 1, be intentional and strategic about the gaps they can fill for you. Because you have to understand they're not working with you on a daily basis. So you have to be able to have self-awareness to know where are more opportunities, where can I fill in these gaps and how they can help you. And then let them identify the ways to be able to achieve the goals that you want to achieve when it comes to your betterment. This honestly could be number 1, but number 2, come prepared with comprehensive questions. As a mentor, the worst thing that can happen for me is I walk into a mentoring session with my mentee and they have 0 questions. There's no feedback, there's nothing. It's just they're waiting for me to kick it off. When in reality, this is your time as the mentee. Maximize it. Number 3, provide actions taken based on prior feedback. For a mentor, they're pouring into you, they're giving you all this feedback. The worst thing you can do is then come to your next session and haven't acted on anything. Show them that you actually care and show them that you want to be a part of this. And then number 4, solicit sponsorship. Sponsorship is going to be a key new pillar that's going to help you grow better in your personal development. Hold up. I hope you're enjoying this virtual mentor series, but I know you're probably also thinking, I don't even know how to find a virtual mentor, let alone a real world mentor. So I've got something for you. Go to seanthespeaker.com/mentor guide. And what you're going to find there is a free guide for you where it's going to break down how to identify a virtual and real world mentor, what questions you should be asking for them. And then when you're looking for a virtual mentor, how do you identify the 5 key areas that you want to have developed for your next level? So go ahead and get it now, seanthespeaker.com/mentor guide. It's for free. Enjoy it. Now back to the video. Okay, so what is a sponsor? A sponsor is someone who speaks positively about you when you're not in the room. They champion you on promotional and stretch opportunities. So think about it from the aspect of, if they're in a conversation about someone taking on a new analyst position they're creating, they're going to say your name first because they know what you bring to the table. And the reason why is because sponsors are well-versed in your values and your skills that you bring to the table. So you want to make sure that these individuals understand how they can support you. Now, a sponsor could be your leader, it could be your mentor, or it could be other key stakeholders, whether it's cross-functional partners or peers in the organization. So, as I mentioned, you want to make sure you lock down your sponsor, find out who they are, and continue to watch this series so you get a better understanding of how to identify that. So, there's a major benefit to having a mentor. As I mentioned, you're going to grow. Your leader's going to help you get there, but having that extra set of eyes and support gets you to the next level much faster. So, for example, the School of Wharton actually did a study. In this study, they looked at employees who participated in mentorship programs. In comparison, for those who completed a mentorship program, they got promoted at 5 times the rate as those individuals who did not complete mentorship programs. But in addition, it doesn't just go one way. Also, mentors themselves got promoted 6 times at the rate of those who did not mentor. So mentoring goes both ways. Even if you think that you're not far enough in your career or your journey to be able to mentor someone else, you actually are. As long as you're one step ahead, you can help pull the next person. So as I mentioned, you want to make sure that no matter what happens, if you want to see success in your career, you need more than just a leader. You also need a mentor. Note that your leader has a different yet just as important objective as your mentor. It is your responsibility to show up prepared for these sessions, and mentors help amplify your career trajectory by 5 times. During this series, I'm going to be taking you on a journey of personal development, whether you are an individual contributor or want to be a leader. The reason why I'm doing this is because for me in my career, if you know my story, at 19, I was a homeless high school dropout. By 29, I was a vice president at a corporation. What helped me all along the way was having mentors. But at first, I didn't actually have mentors. I had virtual mentors. I identified 5 different leaders every year that I could take something different from and identify how can I make the best version of me. Over time, I eventually built up the courage and learned how to make in-world mentors as well. But to this day, I still have both. I think they're very invaluable. So I'm going to be here as your virtual mentor, helping guide you. Feel free to drop any question in the comments section. And my goal is to respond and make videos for as many as possible. The ultimate goal is that if we want to see success, we have to hold each other down. So I used to be part of a group when I was in middle school called Each One Teach One. So as I learn, as I move forward, I look forward to doing the same with you. And of course, if you see somebody with a question in the comments section and you can answer, go ahead and do it as well. But I appreciate you. Stay tuned for the next one.